Hi everyone, Happy New Year. It's 2026, and this video is going to be all about things I did in 2025 that I don't regret doing, and I'll do them all over again in 2026. The first thing is my finances. So I always take my finances very serious, but I took it more seriously in 2025, and I was investing consistently in the stock market, in mutual funds, and all of that stuff. And one principle I used was save first, then spend. And one thing I learned so far from that journey is consistency when it comes to saving and investing. It's not about how much you invest in one go. Is is about how much, or let's say how often you drop something in a big drum. So like, just imagine your investment portfolio is like a drum, or your financial status like a drum, and it's not about pouring one cup of water inside for 1 month and don't do anything again for the next 12 months. No, it's about putting drops or droplets every month, every day, every week, just little by little. Then at the end of the year, you would have already like filled up the drum. So that was one thing I did, and yeah, it was a very great experience. I learned a lot from that process. And at the end of 2025, I did like a stock keeping, trying to see if I made gains with my investments or not. And I discovered that for my Nigerian stocks, I made 40% on top of my capital, 40% return for the year. So you can imagine that felt great. And it's crazy thing was that my Nigerian stock even outdid my US my US stock. My US stock got me 20% return, around 20% return for the year, but my Nigerian stock doubled that. So yeah, that's one thing I I did, and I'm going to do more of that in 2026. Keep on investing and dropping tiny tiny drops fill up the ocean, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing more. And one thing is, aside from investing, it's also good to have liquid capital somewhere. So don't just how I do it. I don't really have a formula for this, but how I do it is when I get paid, I this for if even if you have like you're an entrepreneur or you have a side gig or something, but once you receive your income or profit from the business or whatever you're doing, or your salary, you keep some as liquid savings. Then out of that, the remaining that you have in your hand to spend, you also take from that money and spend in investment opportunities, so stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, all of that. Then the remaining money is what you can now use for everyday to day expenses and buying new things and all of that. So yeah, that's one thing I did in 2025, and I'll see to doing more of that in 2026. So yeah, then the second thing I did is, let me say, yes, starting a business, and I mean a proper business. One thing stuck to me, and I also said it in my first video of the year in 2025, that if your business can't run without you, then it's a job. So I learned more on how to delegate. I learned more on how to hire people. I learned more on how to make sure your business runs without you. So creating systems, and that really helped me in 2025. So if you can recall, if you have been following my page, I run a guest house business in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria, and I also work remotely and as a tech person, and I can't do everything at once. So it's good that I had enough resources to delegate my business to staff and other people around me for them to run, and for business to still survive, even though I'm caught up with work and other activities. And it's also important to note that if you're starting a business and you work, always protect your source, because your source is the job that you did, the work that gave you money to spend on that business or to establish that business. Don't neglect it because you have a business. In fact, there should even be a sign to show that you're distracted from your work because you have a business. So that you need to learn how to delegate and how to give responsibilities to other persons to handle and to run for you. That will help you. That will help you a long way. Because remember, if your source is down, if your source is destroyed, your business might not be able to, to provide for itself because it's still at an early stage. I need a particular amount of financing for that to happen, and that's what your source offers. So protect your source. Though you can run your business by the side, but protect your source. And that's one thing I did. I ran my business. My business was able to run without me while I was, having fun with my source. It's a continuous process of building systems because you have to hire, let go, rehire, train people that you hire, and have structures in place. So it's a continuous process, and I see to doing more of that, making it more streamlined, making it more detailed, having a more detailed structure in 2026. And I'll probably do a video about how I went about my structuring process and my hiring process. And the third thing I did that I don't regret is self care, and it's very easy for you to be carried away with business, with work, with the grind, trying to hustle your way out of certain situations, trying to work your way out of certain financial situations, trying to work your way up the career ladder. But I think as much as you're protecting your source, you should also remember that you are the ultimate source. Your greatest investment is actually yourself, and you need to protect yourself. You need to care for yourself, because without you there is no, you can't work. Like without you, you can't, without you nothing can exist in your life. Basically, you are the one that fetches those things. You're the one that applies for the job. You're the one that create system for your business. You're the one that works hard for your business and make money. So you are the ultimate source. So if you are down, if you are sick, if you are feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, all those things are affected. So it's very important to take care of yourself. And that's one thing I've been trying. I did not do it a lot last year, but the little I did, I don't regret it. So last year, if you also following my page, I went to Lagos for like a month and I had fun. I went to places, went to events. I was outside. I was outside to experience. These are things that when I was in my grind phase, I never was like, these things, their frivolities, their liabilities, I'm all about profits on all these expenses that won't yield result. But those things actually go a long way in making sure like your mind can think well, your mind can think beyond what you're currently surrounding yourself with. And yeah, so self care, your appearance is very important. How you approach people is very important. How you look when you approach people is very important. So learn things that improve your self, skill. Your learn things that improve how people see you. Learn things apart from also learning, like do things that improve how people see you. So if it means buying clothes, if it means having a wristwatch, if it means going to places and having fun and capturing those moments, if it means taking care of your hair and looking decent and not looking like, oh, you have been indoors for months, if it means just looking presentable, doesn't need to be grand, doesn't need to be, I'm not saying you go and buy the latest edition of Louis Vuitton or buy the latest Ramanjago high fashion outfit, but just look very presentable, look clean, look attractive, that can relatable. Be proud of, be confident in what you are putting on, be confident in how you appear. And yeah, that goes a lot to say take care of yourself, basically. And that's what I did towards the later end of last year, and I see myself doing more of that, even in the early months of 2026, just taking time off, you know, regenerating lost energy or energy, being put into that thing. It's just getting myself together, and that's something I will do more of in 2026. So yeah, those are basically the three things that I plan to do more of in 2026. So continue my financial journey, and more structure to my business. Let my business run without me, and the last one is self care. So yeah, that's pretty much what locked in to do in 2026, basically. But aside that, I hope this is going to be a very good year for every one of us, because I feel this year is going to bring a lot of new opportunities, a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of skill, a lot of multiple levels of increase for everyone watching this video, and for our loved ones as well. So yeah, that wraps up my first video of the year. I plan to do more of this kind of videos, because trust me, it's been very difficult trying to create content, then to execute, then to, I just like to have this kind of chill moments where I don't really care about the scripts and just talk from my heart, and include my mistakes and everything in there. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I'm going to run this year. Let me know if you have any other thoughts about what I said in the video. What do you think? Please like, subscribe, comment. Let's have a conversation, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.